Welcome to Geeks Who Drink Pub Quiz on Twitch. For those who guessed, Chaz, you are correct. It's good to see y'all. How did y'all like the big game last night? You know, being a Philadelphian, I was like, cool, 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 cool. Philadelphia was like, no, no, no. But I guess it didn't really matter if they won or lost. Philly was going to get fucked anyway. Anyway, and did you wake up feeling the chazziest? If I'm being truthful, I stayed up way too late last night watching TV. So kind of. Right? It's like, oh, the halftime show was so good. I have dodgeball usually during that time. So I was doing dodgeball, but I was able to catch it afterwards. But yeah, how are y'all living? What are y'all drinking? Right now, I have two drinks: water and a cherry limeade poppy. So, I am going to a pinball league night after this, so I will save my drinking for then. Um, so yeah. Hope y'all had a good weekend. For those who are new to the stream, we do this every Monday. We're going to have 7 rounds of pub quiz. There's going to be a music round, a video round, and all the other rounds will be read by me. Anyway, put a let's go with as many O's as you want in the chat. We'll get started with round number 1. That's right. I see you from Don Rico Suave, the Great Gabo, and TS Masters. That should be enough. Round number 1, it's a simple round. It's just called Duh. As long as you don't overthink it, the answer should be pretty guessable. So for question number 1, Brennan Armstrong and Tommy Armstrong played what position in college football? Number one more time. Brennan Armstrong and Tommy Armstrong played what position in college football? Oh, TS Master, thank you for gifting the 3 tier 1 subs to folks. We see Pambella, we got QT, Mousy, and we got Bar Love. Oh my gosh. I am not built for the internet. Alrighty. Moving along to question number 2. Demographer Mark McCrindle coined what name for the generation that comes after Generation Alpha? Number 2, one more time. Demographer Mark McCrindle coined what name for the generation that comes after Generation Alpha? The fact that we're close to this, I mean, well, I'm going to be like 40 in like 4 months anyway, so I guess that should make me feel old, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I do more physical activity in my 30s than I ever did in my 20s, so it's like, Ingle McCringleberry. I mean, that'd be a cool nickname, right? I don't know. Mr. McPringles. I love it. I love it. And Cringleberry. That's what I'm going to call him next time. Mark McCringle. Anyway, moving on to question number 3. Located near the state capital, Minnesota's largest cathedral is named after which apostle? Question number 3, one more time. Located near the state capital, Minnesota's largest cathedral is named after which apostle? Apostle Bob. What is this, dogma? I wonder if you can finally watch that on streaming, because I did watch this YouTube video where it said it was a hard time to find that movie streaming on any of the streaming services. So I should check that. Ah, okay. That's what I remember. Yeah, thank you for the update, Geeks Drink. Because I do have during the Zoom time, not the Zoom time. By the Zoom times, I mean the pandemic where we'd have like Zoom shows. One of my friends did a pub quiz thing, and I played with one person who was from Minnesota. So Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot all about that person who I don't want to name on stream because fuck him. Anyway, moving on to question number 4 of round number 1. Duh, don't overthink it. It's pretty guessable. The Gap Band song "Early in the Morning" it kicks off with the call of what animal? Question number 4, one more time. The Gap Band song "Early in the Morning" it kicks off with the call of what animal? Oh, dang. He even refused to sell it to Kevin Smith. One, Kevin Smith and I have a connection that we both went to Vancouver Film School. I did graduate from Vancouver Film School where he dropped out, but of course I went there for game design. He went there for films. So, but it was a fun experience. I really liked that school. If you ever know anybody who wants kind of like a quick yet intense course on anything like entertainment, like they have everything from like makeup to like 3D modeling to acting. They still even have game design courses too. So, mm. Oh wow. I'm learning so much about the Dogma scandal because I loved that movie growing up, and made me wish I kept my DVD collection. But anyway, well, I'm sad about that. We can move on over to question number 5. Director Chris Columbus named his production company after what year? Question number 5, one more time. Director Chris Columbus named his production company after what year? Kevin Smith donated everything he made from Miramax after Me Too to SA Centers. Oh, wow. Hell yeah. Nice. There we go. Yeah, you haven't heard him talk about the story of his heart attack. It is like heart attacks aren't funny, but because I guess he is an apt storyteller, he did make that story quite amusing. But I'll let him tell it, not myself. And while you go look that up for later, let's hop on over to question number 6. At the 2012 BAFTAs, John Hamm shared a kiss with what Muppet? Question number 6, one more time. At the 2012 BAFTAs, John Hamm shared a kiss with what Muppet? Still didn't discover America. Don't, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything because it's the dull round. It should be obvious, right? I mean, oh god. Now I'm just remembering like the songs you would sing to remember stuff for this because we were taught this in school, and like how much stuff I was taught in school just like isn't true anymore. So, so yeah. I mean, okay, famous corrector, I see you. Anyway, let's move on over to our penultimate question of round number 1. Question number 7. The drivers of Conestoga wagons smoked cheap cigars and were eventually given what nickname? Question number 7, one more time. The drivers of Conestoga wagons smoked cheap cigars that were eventually given what nickname? He went to Baptist school. No, I wasn't taught about the 2012 Baptists in school. I'm taught about the person, that colonizer who didn't discover America. That's what I was taught about. That's where that was going. I was reading the still didn't discover America and going on that tangent, but not enough of a tangent to give you the answer. So that's like so, so no, I didn't even know the BAFTAs existed until I was way into my 20s. So no, that'd be hilarious if we were taught that. Alrighty, folks, moving on to question number 8, your final question of round number 1. The Sealed Air Corporation holds the trademark for what packing product? Question number 8, one more time. The Sealed Air Corporation holds the trademark on what packing product? Colonizer, I barely know her. Oh gosh. That feels like it's the plot of the anime Cells at Work. Like, Like, because the way they personify viruses on that show is they usually turn other cells into like zombies. It's pretty hilarious. But I feel like if on that show if viruses could talk, they would say, "Colonizer, I barely know her." Like, anyway, that does it for all of your questions in round number one. That means we got our first of 5 bonus questions tonight. All right, your question is according to a 2022 article by NPR, what Asian sea is dying? Your bonus question one more time. According to a 2022 article by NPR, what Asian sea is dying? It looks like we've got some submissions. So while we get that ball rolling, let's get into your answers for round number one. Duh. Question number one, once again, Brennan Armstrong and Tommy Armstrong both played quarterbacks in college football. So they have a strong arm. For question number two, demographer Mark McCrindle coined the name Generation Beta for the one that comes after Generation Alpha. That one creator that always goes beta, like he's gonna have fun with that, I guess, which much to my chagrin, I'm not looking forward to. Moving on to question number three. Located near the state capital, Minnesota's largest cathedral is named after Paul. Because it's St. Paul. Who's St. Paul? Anyway, let me stop. Moving on to question number four. The Gap Band song Early in the Morning kicks off with the call of a rooster. For question number five, director Chris Columbus named his production company after the year 1492. For question number six, at the 2012 BAFTAs, John Hamm shares a kiss with Ms. Piggy. For question number seven, the drivers of Conestoga wagons smoked cheap cigars that were eventually given what nickname? Those would be stogies. And finally, question number eight. The Sealed Air Corporation holds the trademark on what packing product? That would be bubble wrap, which apparently is also called Aeroplast. Now I gotta look. Now I gotta look up if that actually has like an actual name, like Band-Aids being called sore patches. Anyway, that does it for all your answers to round number one. So let's get into your bonus one more time. According to a 2022 article by NPR, the Asian sea that is dying is the Dead Sea. Well, we're heading on over to round three. And get a clue, movie edition. I'll give you a killer, a location of death, and a weapon a la the game of Clue. You just name the movie, and hell, I'll even spot you the release year. So for question number one, releasing in 2017, Chris Washington outside the in-home operating room with the wall-mounted deer head. Question number one more time. The year is 2017. Chris Washington outside the in-home operating room with the wall-mounted deer head. So if there's one thing you know about me, if I ever go to like a local like pub quiz spot that's usually just done by like a single person, I absolutely hate with every fiber of my being half points during any sort of pub quiz match. Like just give a full point and go home. Like why are you making it hard for yourself? Right? Like I know there's another like local one I go to sometimes where I'm just like enough with the half points. Just give full points. Like if they run away with it, you know what? I don't know. Maybe say they need the whole thing for both points. I don't know. I just don't like it. I don't like it. You can argue your mom, right? If I'm ever doing a pub quiz thing, I will never give half points, right? uh, so yeah. Anyway, moving on over to question number two. The year is 1992. Daniel Rabatale summoned upon saying his name 5 times in the mirror with the scary ass hook hand. Question number two, one more time. The year is 1992. Daniel Rob Talley was summoned upon saying his name 5 times in the mirror with the scary ass hook hand. Point out Trump wins trivia. How do I feel about wagering points? It depends on the format. Like, I know that's like two of my favorite trivia podcasts, Trivial Warfare and Triviality. They do that. Um, and I remember one of our games used to do it, or maybe it still does it. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other. Like, because there's always, it's kind of like the end of Jeopardy. If you know what you're doing, you're just gonna wager enough so you beat them by 1 point, or you're gonna wager too few that you lose. Hey, yeah. Yeah, it really depends on the format. Because on Triviality and Trivial Warfare, I like it because it's just two teams doing up against each other, and then they can just do that whole thing. And then on Jeopardy, too, like if you can either not wager your points if you don't know it, or wager. Yeah, so yeah. I feel that, the great Gabo. Anyway, I digress. Let's move on over to question number three. The year is 2015. Finn, during the Battle of Takodana, with the blue lightsaber that we really thought would mean more than it did. For question number three, one more time. The year is 2015. Finn, during the Battle of Takodana, with the blue lightsaber that we really thought would mean more than it did. Yes, yes. Anytime I play someone else's trivia, I also am spoiled by that as well too. Because some people would just come up with really because people will either come up with like really easy questions or something that's like so in their wheelhouse, or especially if like they've been there long enough where like the regulars know their things, so they know what to study for, and you're just there like, I want some general knowledge, and they'll be like, who was the first ever black person to win MVP at a Super Bowl, or black quarterback to win a Super Bowl? I'm like, I don't know these things. I don't know, like, so. So it always depends. And let's move on over to your question number four in Get a Clue Movie Edition. The year was 2024. It was Blade in the unnecessary set piece to justify a bunch of additional cameos with the knife to the head. I like those unnecessary cameos. Thank you very much. Anyway, question number four, one more time. 2024 is the year. Blade in the unnecessary set piece to justify a bunch of additional cameos with the knife to the head. Like the teenager in me liked it because I've been day one. I've been day one even before the MCU. Like, day one stand. So I'll need your sass, geeks. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yo, that gag gave me life. Like, that's when I knew I was gonna love that movie. I was like, yo, I had completely forgot. It's like, yo, I'm like, Chris Evans, you gotta stop. Like, how did Chris Evans get cast as two people who are traditionally supposed to be blonde, but still kill it in those roles? Like, I don't know, Chris Evans. I guess you can act. Anyway. All right, moving on to question number five. The year is 1987. A not so friendly Yautja in the Central American jungle with the cloaking device, the heat vision, and the hokey blue laser gun. Well, what's number five? One more time. 1987 is the year. A not so friendly Yatuja in the Central American jungle with the cloaking device, the heat vision, and the Hoki blue laser gun. Wigs. I mean, like if they gave him a wig, I wouldn't like it. Like I just like how they were just like, nah, just be you. You got it. You got this. We believe in you. Excuse me. Well, let's move on over to question number six. The year is also 2024 again. Rossum Unit 7134, but you can call her Roz, on an island being attacked by Ricos and with the help of a forest full of new friends. Question number six, one more time. The year is 2024. Rossum Unit 7134, but you can call her Roz, on an island being attacked by Ricos with the help of a forest of new friends. As a person who played Xenogears, being thought of as being attacked by Ricos is very it's very bone chilling thought. I know that's not the case, but it's just if only. Like yeah, I mean, I don't know. Republicans and chocobos only. Like Starship Troopers Rico. Yeah, that would also give me like pose or pause, I should say. And oh my gosh, just you know what? Like after what the great Gabo says, let me read question number seven, your penultimate question of round number three, and we'll get into that. The year is 2002. Selena in Jim's parents' southeast London home with a big old machete as soon as she learns Mark's been bitten. What's number seven? One more time. The year is 2002. Selena in Jim's parents' northeast London home with the big old machete as soon as she learns Mark's been bitten. So, like me and my friends, back in the day when we played Final Fantasy games, one of my friends would call them chocobos, and the other friend and I would call them chocobos, right? And because Final Fantasy X's like audio director or whoever, like they said it as chocobos, we thought that was the definitive way to say it. But apparently in Final Fantasy 16, they say chocobos, and now I'm just like, now etymologically speaking, I think the reason why it's said differently in both settings is one is in a more metropolitan and like modern-ish setting, like it's on another planet, but modern by our standards, and the other one is medieval Europe. So I think that would account for the different etymological reasons to say those words differently, but you can't tell my friend otherwise. He's all like, I was right the entire time, you wrong, nana boo boo, shut up. Like anyway. So right, like the guy who written the gift is wrong about the day. Oh yes, yeah, yeah. No, I feel y'all on that. I feel y'all on that too. Right, exactly. I don't get it. Like, I don't think that's how etymology works, bro. Like, anyway. I digress. Moving on over to question number eight, your final question on round three. The year is 1994. Jules Winfield, upon those who attempted to poison and destroy his brothers with the great vengeance and furious anger. Question number eight, one more time. The year is 1994. Jules Winfield, upon those who attempt to poison and destroy his brothers with the great vengeance and furious anger. It's not extension, right? I mean, there is like the way different. Like we say lieutenant, but in the UK they say lieutenant, right? Like, but I can see, like, I can look at the word and see how you say that. Like one of my favorite ones is in my old science classroom when I was in elementary school. My science teacher would have a sign that basically says you can say it as laboratory or laboratory. Right? We fought a war not to have to say it that way. I'm not saying I pronounce it lieutenant. Like, I'm not British, right? But I get that, right? I even get aluminum versus aluminium, right? Like I can find it weird, but also understand why it exists. A laboratory of your mad scientist. No, that's what I call it when I'm in the bathroom because I'm cooking up some shit. Anyway, moving on to your next bonus question. Look, it's me. I'm here. Deal with it. Let's move on. So says Don Cheadle in the second installment of what film series after War Machine didn't die but was just recast? Your bonus question one more time. Look, it's me. I'm here. Deal with it. Let's move on. So says Don Cheadle in the second installment of what film series after War Machine didn't die but was just recast? All right, looks like we got a bunch of correct answers coming down the pipeline, so let's begin on bounce back to question number 1 for your answers to round 3. Get a clue? Movie edition. Number 1, once again, 2017, Chris Washington outside the in-home operating room with the wall-mounted deer head. That's Get Out. Question number 2, in 1992, Daniel Rob Talley summoned upon saying his name 5 times in the mirror with the scary-ass hook hand. That is Candyman. Question number 3, the year is 2015. Finn, during the Battle of Takodana, with the blue lightsaber we really thought would mean a lot more than it did. That is Star Wars The Force Awakens, or Episode 7. For question number 4, the year is 2024. Blade, in the unnecessary set piece to justify a bunch of additional cameos with the knife to the head, that is Deadpool and Wolverine. For question number 5, the year is 1987. A not-so-friendly Yakuza in the Central American jungle with a cloaking device, heat vision, and a hokey blue laser gun, that is Predator. For question number 6, the year is 2024. Rossum Unit 7134, but you can call her Ross, on an island being attacked by Ricos with the help of a forest of new friends, that is the Wild Robot. For question number 7, the year is 2002. Selena in Jim's parents' southeast London home with the big old machete as soon as she learns Mark's been bitten. That is 28 days later. And question number 8, the year is 1994. Jules Winfield, upon those who attempt to poison and destroy his brothers with the great vengeance and furious anger. That is Pulp Fiction. All right, with those answers down, let's boogie on bounce to your bonus question once again. Look, it's me. I'm here. Deal with it. Let's move on. So says Don Cheadle in the second installment of what film series which War Machine didn't die, but was just recast? That is Iron Man. And that was in Iron Man 2 specifically. Because I hear that the views are incredible. Because it's around on Machu Picchu. That's right. We love the puns, y'all. For question number 1, there's no alpacas. But to meet tourist expectations, the Peruvian government lets what domesticated camelids roam around Machu Picchu? Question number 1, one more time. There's no alpacas. But to meet tourist expectations, the Peruvian government lets what domesticated camelids roam around Machu Picchu? I'm summoning our boy, it's fine. Battle of Taco Bella, I like it. If only it was called the Battle of Taco Bella versus the Battle of Taco Del Mar. I don't know. Anyway, moving on to question number two. Rounded corners, trapezoidal openings, and mortar-free brick walls help the ancient buildings dance their way through what disasters that are fairly common in Peru? Question number two, one more time. Rounded corners, trapezoidal openings, and mortar-free brick walls help the ancient buildings dance their way through what disasters that are fairly common in Peru? Yeah, I'm trying to wonder, like in that last season of The Amazing Race, did they ever go to Machu Picchu, or maybe they went around it? Because it felt like that whole season was just only in South America, which I don't know why that was the case, but I think it was because it was filmed like the year after the pandemic. So, speaking of flavored squirts, oh my god. Oh my god. Well, while we contemplate flavored squirts, let's flavor ourselves over to question number three. Hiram Bingham III parlayed his fame into becoming a Connecticut senator after rediscovering Machu Picchu and delivering many of its artifacts to what Ivy League school? Question number three, one more time. Hiram Bingham III parlayed his fame into becoming a Connecticut senator after rediscovering Machu Picchu and delivering many of its artifacts to what Ivy League school? That's just something that's what you gotta expect after someone who's named Hiram. You know, like especially Hiram Bingham III. Like that just has like the smugness built in. You know what? Like I need to write a short story where that's the name of the main villain. Why? Yeah, you know, I'm gonna write a short story that's gonna be called Hiram's Harem, and it's gonna be like Tenchi Muyo, but set somewhere else. I don't know. Like a tether ball. All right, folks, moving on to question number four of round number four. I hear the views are incredible year round on Machu Picchu. Possibly a sacrificial altar, a temple stone was carved to resemble the bald head of what mega vulture whose wingspan can reach 10 feet? Watch number four one more time. Possibly a sacrificial altar, a temple stone was carved to resemble the bald head of what mega vulture whose wingspan can reach 10 feet? I'm surprised a certain Pokemon has not evolved into, or has an evolution where they evolved into this. I mean, no. Maybe Generation 10 will do it. They used to have one of these at the New York Renaissance Fair. Ooh. The more you know. Alrighty, folks, moving on to question number five. Machu Picchu is about 50 miles northwest of what former Incan capital and the namesake of David Spade's character in The Emperor's New Groove? For question number five, one more time. Machu Picchu is about 50 miles northwest of what former Incan capital and namesake of David Spade's character in The Emperor's New Groove? Mega Vulture, is that an alternate universe MCU Michael Keaton? It could be. It could be. I guess that Pokemon could get a Mega Evolution to make it look like that, but I just feel like if that animal exists and a lot of Pokemon are based after animals, and even like some animals turn into one thing and then its next evolution is out of left field, I feel like it's right there. But you know what? Maybe they need a region where that would make sense for it to happen. And to my knowledge, there have been no regions based on South America in Pokemon, so that's probably why it hasn't happened. Alrighty, let's move on over to question number 6. Change one letter in the name of a Superman villain who does everything backwards, and you get what conquistador who brought down the Incan Empire but never found Machu Picchu. Question number 6, one more time. Change one letter in the name of a Superman villain who does everything backwards, and you get what conquistador who brought down the Incan Empire but never found Machu Picchu. Wait a second. Pokemon, of course. Oh my god. Pokemon. Pokeanimorphs. Oh my god. If Pokeanimorphs was a thing, that's a fan fiction somebody should write. Like even though like the Animorphs series is like a kid's book, but it's secretly about war, like what would that say about Pokeanimorphs? As you contemplate that, let's head on over to our penultimate question of round number 4, question number 7. Arise to birth with me, my brother. The Heights of Machu Picchu is a poem by what Chilean Nobel laureate known for his 20 love poems and a song of despair? Question number 7, one more time. Arise to birth with me, my brother. The Heights of Machu Picchu is a poem by what Chilean Nobel laureate known for his 20 love poems and a song of despair? Also, I believe they were name dropped in the musical Rent at one point, which maybe will give away the answer, or maybe not. I don't know. Sounds like a documentary about furries. I actually do know one person out here who's like an actual furry. Like, it's not even like in a weird way, right? It's not like I've seen her like costume, and I know they cost an arm and a leg, but I don't know if like that's their thing. That's their thing, you know. Alrighty, folks, moving on to your final question of round 4. Just as effective today as it was 500 years ago, this monolith functions as what sort of timekeeping device? Question number 8, one more time. Just as effective today as it was 500 years ago, this monolith functions as what sort of timekeeping device? Mega Vulture. Oh, yes, anybody watching, is it Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man show? Hey, you know what? I liked episodes like 1 and 2. Oh yeah, I should say spoiler alert for those who haven't watched. But like the 3rd episode, I was kind of like, why do we need this? Like, why are you being like this? CEO of this big company, like really? Yeah. Yeah, it's woke as hell. It's like I can't believe the voice actor said that. It's all like, well, I hope it's not woke. I'm like, yo, like they leaned in hard on the fact that Mr. Osborn has waves. I was like, everybody was like, yo, man, he got that fresh cut with the waves. They just made him black, and I'm like, yeah, because he got waves, dog. Like, right? And then you got Nico Minoru in there, like, and I am liking the changes in some of the characters. I want to see where they're gonna go. So, I know, right? I know. It's Spider-Man, bro. Like, anyway. Well, we throw up our hands in the air and go like, how can you think this isn't? Let's move on over to your 3rd bonus question on tonight's quiz. Machu Picchu means old mountain in Quechua, which is also the language spoken by what Tatooine bounty hunter that Han definitely shot first. Your bonus question one more time. Machu Picchu means old mountain in Quechua, which also is also the language spoken by what Tatooine bounty hunter that Han definitely shot first. Let me take a drink of water and I see your submission, so then we can boogie on bounce over to question number one for the answer right after. Alrighty, question number one once again of round four. I hear the views are incredible. For question number one, while there's no alpacas to meet tourist expectations, the Peruvian government lets llamas roam around Machu Picchu. Question number two, the rounded corners, trapezoidal openings, and mortar-free brick walls help ancient buildings dance their way through earthquakes. Question number three, Hiram Bingham III parlayed his fame into becoming a Connecticut senator after rediscovering Machu Picchu and delivering many of its artifacts to Yale University. Question number four, possibly a sacrificial altar, a temple stone was carved to resemble the bald head of a condor. An Andean condor. Be specific. And if you follow us at Geeks on Facebook, now what's the answer to that? Question number five. Machu Picchu is about 50 miles northwest of the former Incan capital, Cusco. For question number six, change one letter in the name of a Superman villain who does everything backwards, and you get Francisco Pizarro. Or Pizarro. Pizarro was the Superman villain, if you didn't know. Question number seven. Arise to birth with me, my brother. The Heights of Machu Picchu is a poem by what Chilean Nobel laureate known for this 20 love poems and a song of despair. That is Pablo Neruda. And question number eight. Just as effective today as it was 500 years ago, this monolith functions as a sundial. And lastly, your bonus question once again, Machu Picchu means old mountain in Quechua, which is also the language spoken by Greedo. Because we're going to prove that video games can be art. So name these series that really splash some paint, ink, or other colorful gloop around. See you when we get back. Greedo was ink.
Hey, what up, Rage Gar? How you living? I'm doing pretty good. Anyway, we're back with your answers to round number 5 of Whistler's Mother Brain. Number 1, that series is a Kirby. The game is Kirby Star Allies. For number 2, that is Portal, specifically Portal 2. For question number 3, that's Splatoon, specifically Splatoon 3. Number 4, that is Street Fighter, specifically Street Fighter 6. For number 5, that is the Epic Mickey. Number 6, this is a Hollow Knight. For number 7, that is Okami. And lastly, that is Mario Paint. And now we're moving along to round number 6, 2 for the money, multiple choice edition. Each answer has a category and 3 possible options. Give us the 2 options that fit the category for 1 point or both for 2 points. But if you try for 2 and get either answer is wrong, you get 0 points. So your first question is Ben & Jerry's flavors that have some form of chocolate in them. Chubby Hubby, Chunky Monkey,
and Chure for churros. One more time, Ben & Jerry's flavors that have some form of chocolate in them. Chubby Hubby, Chunky Monkey, and Chure for churros. But yeah, RageGar28, how's it going? I'm glad to have you in the chat. And how's your day going so far? And what is it? Chicory. I don't know about that game, but I will have to look that up. Alrighty, folks. Moving on to question number 2. Lisa Kudrow shows The Comeback, The Morning Show, and Web Therapy. For question number 2, one more time, Lisa Kudrow shows The Comeback, The Morning Show, and Web Therapy. Oh, and I forgot to say, I really enjoyed the Chrono Trigger music that they used for that round, for round number 5. So, that was good. Alrighty, folks. If you're ready, we can head on over to question number 3. Parts of a human heart, atrium, calyx, and a tricuspid valve. Question number 3, one more time. Parts of a human heart, atrium, calyx, and a tricuspid valve. And is anybody out there watching that show, The Pit, on Max? I started watching it because it has Noah Wiley, and I saw him on ER, and I'm really liking it. It's like ER meets 24, but in a good way. Like, presidents aren't getting captured. With Dr. Carter. Yeah. Oh my God, Paradise! Oh my God! Oh my God, Paradise is so. Oh my God! There's a new episode tomorrow. Okay, hold on. Let me get to question number 4 because I love Paradise. Like you don't even know. Moving on to question number 4 of 2 for the Money multiple choice edition. Games that have been featured on the New York Times website. Gram Jam, Strands, Vertex. Question number 4, one more time. Games that have been featured on the New York Times website. Gram Jam, Strands, Vertex. I mean, Sterling K. Brown is such a good actor. I can't stand it. Like, I can, but I'm also with you that I will watch anything with Sterling K. Brown in it. And I didn't realize that the creator of This Is Us is also the creator of Paradise. And I'm like, how you gonna make me be like tear jerking every week, right? Sad. And now I'm just like, what happened? How'd the world die? Like, who? What? Like, like I'm so into that show it hurts. I want to know more. I need like YouTubers or like I need people to craft fan theories. Like, that show is so good. Anyway, I digress. And actually, question number 5 is vaguely related to Paradise. So, question number 5 has a mountain taller than 20,000 feet. Pakistan, Switzerland, United States. Question number 5, one more time, has a mountain taller than 20,000 feet. Pakistan, Switzerland, the United States. Yeah, if you haven't watched Paradise, like I wish Hulu didn't release their things at 2 a.m. And honestly, part of me wants to stay up until 2 a.m. to watch the next episode. That's how much I'm into that show. But I said at the beginning of this, I stayed up until 3 a.m. last night watching TV shows. So maybe that's just something I do. Anyway, you know who isn't staying up until 3 a.m. watching TV shows? Question number 6. For question number 6, which one of these are ballets by Igor Stravinsky? The Arabian Nights, The Firebird, The Rite of Spring. Question number 6, one more time. Ballets by Igor Stravinsky. The Arabian Nights, The Firebird, The Rite of Spring. Oh, wait a second. They dropped midnight EST. Oh, my God. Well, I know what I'm doing after I come back from pinball. Watching some Paradise. And it has Saraswati in it. When I tell you, like, I still have the biggest crush on Saraswati. Like, she was on this USA show. It was like about her working in the law office, like Sarasati the one. Anyway. Oh, she was on Person of Interest. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, don't get me started. Fairly Legal. That show's so good. Anyway, wow. All right. Anyway, you know what's also fairly legal? Your penultimate question, question number 7. Settings for the first 2 Mission Impossible films: Asia, Australia, Europe. And question number 7 again, settings for the first 2 Mission Impossible films: Asia, Australia, and Europe. Oh my God, yeah. So like once I saw those 2 was on there, and then yeah, like so yeah, y'all should just watch it. I don't want to say too much. Like I don't know how many episodes will be out the next time I come a host, but when that happens, I want to talk about it more because Paradise is my fucking jam. Anyway, like that is probably my new favorite show of 2025 right now. Like like I got shows that I kind of look forward to each week. Some of them I even forget came on. I think my other favorite show that I'm looking forward to in 2025 is season 2 of Solo Leveling. But that's because I just like power fantasies are cool. Anyway, Paradise. All right, moving along to question number 8, your final question of round number 6. Bands with a top 10 Billboard hit: Asia, Australia, Europe. Question number 8 one more time. Bands with a top 10 Billboard hit: Asia, Australia, Europe. Yeah, I did. I had to see what else Ron Grossman did other than This Is Us, because I was there every week for This Is Us. I was like, I gotta know. And then like the way they would weave, like, because after the whole Jack thing, I was wondering like, well, how they're gonna go on after this. And they went on for a whole 4 seasons after that, like teaching us new things, meeting new people, interwoven new stories and everything. I'm like, all right, you know what you're doing, okay? Yes, Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling. I mean, no, I like TV. Anyway, moving along to your penultimate bonus question on tonight's quiz. Dumb Money was a 2023 dramatization of how Reddit ran up the stock price of what mall retail chain? Your bonus question once again, Dumb Money was a 2023 dramatization of how Reddit ran up the stock price of what mall retail chain? Alright, it looks like we got those good submissions coming through, so let's boogie on mounts back to question number 1 for your answers. Ben & Jerry's flavors that have had some form of chocolate in them. Those 2 would be a Chubby Hubby and a Chunky Monkey. For question number 2, Lisa Kudrow shows. That would be The Comeback and Web Therapy. Although I do like The Morning Show. I think it has some good political commentary in it. For question number 3, parts of a human heart. That is the atrium and the tricuspid valve. For question number 4, games that have been featured on the New York Times website. That is that's Strands and Vertex. For question number 5, has a mountain taller than 20,000 feet. That would be Pakistan and the United States. For question number 6, ballets by Igor Stravinsky. That would be The Firebird and The Rite of Spring. And for question number 7, the settings of the first 2 Mission Impossible films. That would be Australia and Europe. And lastly, question number 8, bands with a top 10 Billboard hit. That would be Asia and Europe with Heat of the Moment and The Final Countdown, respectively. All right, and now we're back to the bonus question. Once again, Dumb Money was a 2023 dramatization of how Reddit ran up the stock price of GameStop.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Alrighty, folks, it's your final round of random knowledge. A good rule of thumb are that even number questions are worth 2 through 4 points, and odd number questions are only worth one. So, starting with question number one. Programmed to chase each other around the world, the satellites Grace FO1 and Grace FO2 have what pair of nicknames inspired by an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Question number one more time. Programmed to chase each other around the world, the satellites Grace FO1 and Grace FO2 have what pair of nicknames inspired by an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon? Oh yeah, is there a new Mission Impossible movie coming out soon? I haven't actually. You know what? I loved Mission Impossible movies, but I missed out on seeing the newest one that came out in theaters, which I'm disappointed in myself. Yeah. Ah, yes. All right. Right. Isn't like Tom Cruise like in his 60s now, and he's still out here doing his own stunts? Like, okay, okay, Tom Cruise, I see you. Anyway, moving on to question number two for 2 points. For The Apprentice and A Real Pain, respectively, which two Succession stars are nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar this year? Question number two, once again, for The Apprentice and A Real Pain, respectively, what two Succession stars are nominated for a Best Supporting Actor Oscar this year? Oh, okay. The 2023 one is on Amazon Prime. Oh, and Paramount Plus. Okay, I got Paramount Plus. Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then the final Reckoning is in May. Oh, well, I should watch it before I go see it. All right, that's good to know. Hey! Running like a madman, indeed. He's gonna fall off a plate individually, right? Right? Like, dog. Like, how do y'all like? What have he died of? Like, like what have he died? Anyway, I probably should not be thinking about that all that much. So let's move on over to question number three. It's been 30 years since Starbucks bought the rights to what trademark beverage that anagrams to "in cup of crap"? Question number three, one more time. It's been 30 years since Starbucks bought the rights to what trademark beverage that anagrams to "in cup of crap"? I mean, I haven't been to Starbucks in a hot minute, but the strawberries and cream version of this, it's still my jam. Like, oh my god, it's so good. Like, speaking of movies, I used to go up to a Barnes and Noble that was near a movie theater back home in Philadelphia, and then afterwards we would go to Starbucks in there, and we would order. Well, I ordered one, and then I let my friend taste it, and then he was like, "Oh, I need to get this all the time." I'm like, "Isn't it so good? So good." Anyway, I don't know if they still make them, but now I kind of want one. And maybe I'll get two. One for me and one for question number four. This one is worth 3 points. Am I talking about a tango, a waltz, or a cha-cha? For your first point, Elmo's dog. For your second point, the star of Amazon's The Consultant. And finally, an assassin played by Mary J. Blige. Well, once again, for 3 points, am I talking about a tango, a waltz, or a cha-cha? Elmo's dog, the star of Amazon's The Consultant, and an assassin played by Mary J. Blige. Yeah, you know what? Today I learned they didn't invent that either. Although I felt like Dunkin' Donuts did something similar, and maybe they called it something similar. Like, I mean, I do, even though like I don't drink coffee as much anymore. I do like a nice blended coffee beverage, as anyone. Anyway, moving on to, oh, that was Dunkachino. Okay, there you go. Anyway, moving on to question number five. Kind of depressing when you think about it. A shrimp boat called the Miss Tilly is impaled upon a spar of rock in the center of what almost rhyming a Disney park. Mm. What's number five? One more time. Kind of depressing when you think about it. A shrimp boat called the Miss Tilly is impaled upon a spar of rock in the center of what almost rhyming Disney park. It's the Al Pacino. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, folks, let's move on over to question number six, also worth 3 points. Tell me, which LA neighborhood is also the Italian city where Shakespeare's Othello is set? The Peacock series that stars Jabari Banks as Will Smith, and the Macklemore song that starts out with a trip to the moped store. Number six, once again for 3 points. Which LA neighborhood is also the Italian city where Shakespeare Othello is set? The Peacock series that stars Jabari Banks as Will Smith, and the Macklemore song that starts out with a trip to the moped store. Alrighty, folks, let's move on over to your penultimate question on tonight's quiz, not counting the bonus. Awarded in 1954, Sports Illustrated First Sports Person of the Year award went to what runner who set a record that lasted just 46 days? Number seven, once again, awarded in 1954, Sports Illustrated's First Sports Person of the Year award went to what runner who set a record that lasted just 46 days? Alrighty, and your final question, question number 8, worth 4 points. For point number 1, Kate Walsh has played Dr. Addison Montgomery on 10 of what ABC drama's 21 seasons? For point 2, what big soft drink brand got name checked in an Addison Rae single last summer? For your third point, Addison's disease occurs when what glands produce too little cortisol? And Addison is the legal first name of what 82-year-old Kentucky senator? Alrighty, folks, that does it for your regular questions. So let's do our final bonus question of tonight. Set phasers to shun is the rough New York Times review for Section 31 the newest but definitely not worst film in what franchise? Your bonus question one more time. Set phasers to shun is the rough New York Times review for Section 31 the newest but definitely not worst film in what franchise? All right, looks like we got some correct answers coming down the pipeline. So let's boogie on bounce to your question number 1 for the answers. Number 1, programmed to chase each other around the world, the satellites Grace FO1 and Grace FO2 have a pair of nicknames inspired by Tom and Jerry. For question number 2, for The Apprentice and A Real Pain respectively, the two Succession stars that are nominated for Best Supporting Actor this year are Jeremy Strong and Kieran Culkin. Question number 3, it's been 30 years since Starbucks bought the rights to the trademark beverage that anagrams from in Cup of Crap. That is a Frappuccino. Question number 4 for 3 points. You told me if I was talking about a tango, a waltz, or a cha-cha. For Elmo's dog, that is tango. For the star of Amazon's The Consultant, that is a waltz. And Assassin, played by Mary J. Blige, that is cha-cha. For question number 5, kind of depressing when you think about it. A shrimp boat called the Ms. Tilly is impaled upon a spar of rock in the center of the Typhoon Lagoon. For question number 6 for 3 points, which LA neighborhood is also the Italian city where Shakespeare Othello is set? That is Venice. The Peacock series that stars Jabari Banks as Will Smith, that's Bel Air. And the Macklemore song that starts out with a trip to the moped store, that is Downtown. For question number 7, awarded in 1954, Sports Illustrated's first Sports Person of the Year award went to Roger Bannister. And finally, question number 8 for 4 points. Kate Walsh has played Dr. Addison Montgomery on 10 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. The big soft drink that got name checked in an Addison Rae single last summer was Pepsi. Addison's disease occurs when the adrenal glands produce too little cortisol. And Addison is the legal first name of Mitch McConnell. And finally, your last bonus question. Set phasers to shun is the rough New York Times review of Section 13, the newest but definitely not worst film in Star Trek.